Well, let's get into the regular show instead of talking about a children's Bible club.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's new, Steve?
We got the Fenler actually turned on. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say up and running.
The light turned on in the front, and we plugged it into a speaker cab, and it was making a hissing sound, and it produced a lot, and I mean a lot of heat. You could use this to warm up your room in the cold winter.
Yeah. When I went to turn it off, I was really worried that I was gonna like burn my fingers.
Well, I'm a little worried because you put some stuff back together in there with blue painter's tape, and it's really close to those tubes, and I'm like, is that stuff going to catch on fire?
Is painter's tape flammable?
Dude,
everything's
flammable if you get it hot enough.
Yeah. I know I've got painter's tape in there because the reverb tank was originally like affixed to this metal thing with like adhesive foam. Which is just like a piece of foam with like a sticky side.
Right.
And that stuff, because this amp is like 40 years old, that stuff completely disintegrated, and the reverb tank was just flopping around in there.
Oh man.
Which is why like the tubes got destroyed and whatever. So like I don't know, I still don't know, like that's my biggest question is I don't know if this thing was running before shipping, and the guy like who had it didn't test it.
Right.
And obviously it's way too late now for me to even like revisit that. But yeah, I think that reverb tank flopping around is what probably did a lot of the damage to the inside of the amp. So I just have it kind of like suspended in place with painter's tape so it doesn't flop around when I transport it. And it's secure-ish, I guess.
I just really love the look of this thing. I want it to work. I want to be able to hear it. But then I also, if it can't work, if it doesn't work, I kind of want something else to be rehoused into it because it's just too cool looking to not have a function.
I super go back and forth because like you brought it in here because of the way the circuit is laid out. Both of the transformers are on the same side of the amp. So it's extremely top heavy.
This thing has a lot of transformers in it, and the transformers are huge.
Yeah, the output and power transformers on this thing are like, one of them is bigger than my fist.
And you got a big old fist, Steve.
I have a normal fist for a person who's 6'2". The other is probably about the size of like a fist. They're both very large, and they're both on the same end of the amp.
And then there's like two smaller transformers in there that are like
one of them
size.
is like the reverb driver.
The other, and there's probably one for the vibrato.
I don't think there's. I mean, I guess there probably is some kind of vibrato circuit because there is a speed and intensity. I've heard on some of these amps that the speed and intensity knobs don't actually do anything. That the vibration channel is really just, or vibrator channel is really just reverb.
I love that it's called the vibrator channel too.
So I don't know because there's two different. I found at least two different deluxe reverb models from Fenler when I was doing research on this. But yeah, I don't know. I like the outside aesthetic. Part of me just wants to like gut it all, leave the knobs in place, and then put in like a pair of quilter amps. Like got a quilter to like do floating. What do they call it? Is it floating leads? Is that what they call it?
I don't know what they call it.
When instead of the pots being mounted to PCB, it's like wire, like hand wired. It's called floating something.
My idea was to put a Princeton in that vibrato slot,
right?
Because it's the right amount of knobs for it, and then either put like a Fender reverb unit on the top 3 knob section, or put like a Surfy Bear in there. And have like a surf rock head, but then like maybe not a Princeton, maybe like a deluxe reverb or something like that, or even a twin would be a good kit to throw in there to have a surf rock.
Well, I think if you wanted to do the dual circuit thing, you wouldn't want to do a twin. That's going to be too much circuit.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the classic surf rock amp is the deluxe Showman, but I don't know. Even a twin is way too much.
Well, a twin and deluxe Showman are the same amp.
Right.
Or the same circuit.
Yeah.
You got anything new, dude?
I do have something new.
Oh yeah, what is it?
So I went and I re-impregnated my wife.
Yeah, I heard about.